Greetings, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And Santa Claus.
And Jacob Wile.
Sandy.
Oh. So I know that was my cue, I'm sorry.
Yes, that is your cue.
Here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs as we re-encounter spooky selections of Halloween classics.
So like the jack-o'-lanterns, suit up and grab the tandy dish as we recount tonight's selection. The Haunted Mask.
I screwed it up.
Maniacal laugh. Fuck it, Sandy. Quack, quack. I'm a duck. Quack, quack. Oh, dear. Okay, guys, this is, oh man, I really love what we're about to talk about. The Haunted Mask. This brings back so many memories. We'll quickly go roundtable and kind of, what I want to do is kind of share memories right now of the actual episode, The Haunted Mask, and then we're going to do the Goosebumps movie later on in Haunted Holiday Hijinks. And when we do the Goosebumps movie, we can go roundtable and talk about our memories in general with Goosebumps, because there's a lot of stuff to break down with Goosebumps in general. Let's kind of save this conversation for just the Haunted Mask. So, Sandy, what are your memories with this thing?
Well, wow. I don't know what my first encounter was with this was, but I remember the book, and I never read it because I didn't really read any of these books. I just loved the covers, and I loved just flipping through the pages and reading little bits and pieces. So I never really got the full story, but I know I watched, sat down, I watched this one day, and it terrified me. I have to say, it is one of the scariest Goosebumps episodes ever produced. I love it. I mean, I think it's really great. It has a really great plot. Not the best acting, but again, this is the Goosebumps TV series. What you can expect. I love the opening. I think it made it for a great pilot, and really hooks you. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, Jacob, what are your memories of this thing?
You mean as of about an hour ago?
This is the first time you watched it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, Jacob, all those wee minutes ago, when you finished watching, what are your memories?
I remember the moment I clicked on the video to watch it.
Oh, man.
And then I watched the episode.
Okay, so...
But seriously, I do like this episode.
So yeah, Goosebumps, I guess I'm the only one who actually read the books as a kid because I collected the books. Sandy, I collected them for the covers and I stayed for the stories. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I had so many of them because of the covers, but I definitely did read through the stories. With Goosebumps, there's a lot of iconic ones. I think probably the most conceptually popular is probably Horrorland because they made like a whole side series out of that, and actually they have a haunted mask book in the Horrorland mythology. Did you guys know that?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I knew they made a game a long time ago, but
it's like the terror of the haunted mask in the Horrorland series, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. But the Haunted Mask, you guys, my grandparents actually owned a costume shop when I was a kid that closed down in the early 2000s. So we actually did have a few masks like this.
And the Donald mask?
Well, yes, the Donald mask was part of it. Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. If the Donald mask was in this episode, everyone would click off and it'd be way too scary for traumatized kids. You know, I mean, come on now. Come on.
This mask is still less scary than Mr. Donald's.
But I definitely remember my grandparents' shop did have some masks that were kind of in this style where it wasn't really like a particular monster. It was more just a generic, like, scary face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of nostalgia connected to this that way, where just like looking at the old mask from my grandparents' Halloween shop, for sure.
That you were so lucky to have grandparents that owned a Halloween shop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
I envy you.
But granted, I am kind of shocked how well this holds up over time. I was honestly expecting this to be way more laughable than it actually is. I think this is genuinely creepy, even watching it as an adult. I think there's some real, genuine, good suspense, good conceptual elements to it. A couple moments of pure terror that I think really stand up. I think probably my favorite example, just to get it out of the way right now, I love the moment where it's like she's looking in the mirror and she's like, "Those aren't my eyes. What are those eyes? Those aren't my eyes." I'm like, "Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, dear God."
What about when all the masks start chasing her and the really cheap like practical effects? Man, that's what terrified me.
Help us, Carly Beth. Help us. Save us, Carly Beth. Yeah, really good stuff. This is a pilot episode to the Goosebumps show. And then, of course, it kind of launched the way for a bunch of these things to be adapted. But I would wager to say Haunted Mask is up there with Night of the Living Dummy, which I don't like the Night of the Living Dummy. I'll kind of air out my feelings on that when we get to the movie. And Horrorland, it's kind of up there. I'd say those three are kind of the big franchises of Goosebumps, along with Monster Blood. But I think Monster Blood is less memorable for the books and more memorable because it's kind of a running conceit throughout the books.
Yeah, and
the actual stories are not that memorable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the TV series. I mean, the end credits has Monster Blood running down, and
exactly right.
It's like a Goosebumps iconic thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you guys all have the episode in front of you?
Yes.
So, guys, this episode is actually available up on YouTube for free, at least, for the moment. You know how that goes. But fuck it, we're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get your episode to timestamp 000. If I remember, I can put a link in the description. If I remember, I probably won't, but a link might be in the description for you guys. Just being honest. Jacob, you synced up and ready to go? Timestamp 00?
Yep.
Okay, folks, so this is going to be about a 43-minute long commentary track. We're going to do our level best to make it a running discussion that you don't necessarily have to be watching the episode to enjoy, but if you want to go ahead and watch it with us, go ahead and get your copy of the episode ready, synced up to timestamp 00. I will go ahead and count up to 3, and when I say go, y'all press play and let's just get on with it. All right? Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so without further ado, commentary on the Haunted Mask in 1, 2, 3. Go. Okay, so go ahead, Jacob.
So we start off like that already.
I love the R.L. Stine introduction here.
And behold, the scariest mask of all.
It's so Rod Serling-esque.
And the music here is great.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot like kind of the trailer for Psycho in a way, where Hitchcock's kind of walking around the set of Psycho, where he's like, "Scary things happened here. You don't want to know what happened here."
Yeah, and this was also R.L. Stine's first appearance as a bad actor.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? R.L. Stine defined a generation of bad acting. All right. I mean, he's no Rod Serling, but he gets the job done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's not worse than Tommy Wiseau, that's for sure.
Oh, God. Hello, viewers. Welcome to Goosebumps. Viewers, beware, you're in for a scare. So, I love the conceit. It's very kind of like Ray Bradbury-esque of this like old school Halloween shop set up overnight. No one knows where it came from.
Yeah.
Creepy old guy.
Creepy old German man. With a weird scar on his face, like bubbly pimple scars.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Oh, God.
I don't think you want to know.
One of the reasons why I definitely wanted to do this as our first Goosebumps is all the Halloween atmosphere we get in this. This is just soaked in Halloween. It's marinated in Halloween. It absolutely indulges in the holiday.
Marinated, grilled, and brisked in Halloween.
So Sabrina is kind of like a long line of forgettable side characters in Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they all just kind of run together, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the main characters aren't too memorable, but the side characters are, yeah. I like the, this is actually a pretty effective prank here by Chuck and Steve.
Well, it kind of says when the monsters are more entertaining than the characters themselves.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I would say this is a little bit of an homage to the Attack of the Pumpkinheads or whatever that book was. It was a later book, but it was a good one.
And it's a good episode, too.
So Steve is actually the one that gets the mask in the second one. I think next year we have to cover Haunted Mask 2 just to be appropriate, just to kind of keep the tradition going.
Yeah.
I think that should be our next selection, but so we have the whole conceit of Carly Beth kind of being a scaredy cat, kind of a Chucky Finster type. That was a popular character archetype in the 90s, wasn't it? I guess so.
Scared of everything. Probably even scared of her own shadow.
Like this music, it seems like it's like the kind of music you'd hear in those really disturbing and sad cartoon theory videos.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like Blame It on Jorge videos.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's so sad, but it's like it's really cheap sounding, you know?
Mm-hmm. Why me?
Like, oh, we feel so bad for you. We're easily scared.
You know what? I will say though, like the pranks that Chuck and Steve pull on Carly Beth are pretty freaking elaborate and messed up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they bury themselves alive, and then later on they feed her, like, this giant worm. It's like, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a wee bit sociopathic.
Yeah.
Screw the pumpkin.
Moral of the story, boys are jerks.
Love the atmosphere of the pumpkin patch.
I thought they already walked away from this scene. What?
Good point. Okay, and now we get to the true creepiest thing of the movie. Let's give it up for wait for it. Hold on, it's about to come.
It's in the background there.
It's in the background. Yeah, it's in the background. It is by far the most unsettling thing about this whole special. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's so lifelike. Remember, that's what they keep saying. It's so lifelike.
It's so ironic that the thing that's meant to represent like all the hope and goodness in this story is like by far the creepiest element of it. I mean, I don't care how scary the mask looks. This will always look scarier. It's way in the uncanny valley territory.
Oh, is that intentional or what?
I don't think it's intentional.
Imagine some like really like sick like pervert having this sculpture in his house because like he's stalking Carly Beth or stuff.
Oh God! Oh, I made this for you, Carly Beth. Do you like it? It looks just like you, Carly Beth.
Ship it to her front door.
Or maybe it's just the adult versions of Chuck and Steve.
No, whoa.
So the mother is a little off in this thing, wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah.
A little bit.
There's the wink. Oh dear. Just kill it with fire. Just kill it.
Well, she buries it, so then digs it up again.
This duck costume is also slightly terrifying in its own way, I must say. That we're about to see.
Why do they make these like innocent things so terrifying unintentionally?
Kind of little jump scare coming up. Woo!
It's Hipster Donald's baby.
You know what? That is a little bit on the same level as Hipster Donald.
Almost looks like a giant chicken.
Oh god, this kid, I don't know, man. He's pretty damn grating.
I don't really like her either. Him either.
Yeah, I don't really like any of the characters, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so little peace offering going on here at lunchtime. I like how it's like school in the afternoon around Halloween time. Again, I love the atmosphere, like the jack-o'-lanterns and scarecrows. The
Jackalines.
I know, I'm sorry. The jack-o'-lanterns and scarecrows and everything like that.
In the 90s.
Like, it's great, man. It was back when Halloween was a little bit more innocent than it is now.
Yeah.
Man.
I
miss eating outdoors.
Okay, I'm gonna be blatantly honest with you. This scene, like, to this day, kind of gave me a little bit of a phobia of sandwiches. Especially of like white bread sandwiches. Like I'm fine with like a good like French roll or something, but if it's like white bread, I'm sorry.
So were all these kids in on this joke? How do they know what happened? Like, you morons, you jerks. They're all laughing at her.
It's just like
kids like sitting like 5 tables over are laughing at her. They're not part of her sandwich. What?
She's covering. It's like basically she's covering her mouth. Let's all point and laugh at her.
Oh god. I'm gonna fawn over this friendship magazine for 20 seconds. Huh.
Again, this music is just depressing. It's depressing.
And I think this scene is genuinely a little sad where she's ripping apart the duck costume.
Yeah. I love how it gets dark here.
Although the acting is kind of ridiculous. It's like, I'm not sure if she's supposed to be like Joker laughing or if she's supposed to be crying or what.
Well, she probably only had one shot because there was only one costume.
Dude, that's probably true. That's
just
probably
screwed it up.
No, that looks like she's smiling though.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Don't get me wrong, we're not trying to intentionally bag this episode.
No. But there are a lot of silly things in it.
Well, that's to be expected. It's from the 90s.
Of course. Believe me, when we get into, like, when she puts on the mask, this episode really ramps up. Until then, I think there's a lot of silly stuff that we can make fun of. Like the evil German Halloween costume store.
I have always wanted to go in this Halloween shop.
They should make it at Universal Studios. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. The set design's great, though. I'll give it that. So far, even so far, the set design's great.
As a matter of fact, I would love to see like a whole Goosebumps area in Universal Studios.
That'd be awesome. But
this shop, yeah, I would love to go in this shop.
Just take one of those masks right there. You'll be fine.
I know, right?
There's plenty of other creepy masks in there that aren't necessarily demonic beings from another dimension.
There's Pennywise in the background.
Pennywise?
I want to say there's Pennywise in the background of the shot.
I thought I saw an ET mask back there.
It could be.
I don't think so.
So that mask is creepy right there. The green with the purple hair. That's creepy.
Oh, yeah.
How does he not notice anybody coming into his store? I mean, it's not like the door.
A paying customer. Get out!
I know, right?
I opened the store. Nobody's allowed in here. Maybe you can see our closing time. That's probably why. Who knows?
This phone call that he takes is like really intense. We don't really know what's going on the other end.
It's the guy at the morgue who gets him all the flesh to make masks.
Is that Chewbacca with sunglasses?
I think it's a werewolf.
Okay, fair. I always thought it was Chewbacca as a kid.
That's like an American Werewolf in London.
Oh, it could be American Werewolf in London.
American Werewolf in English class, more like.
Like, come on, boy, those masks are creepy. Like the one in the reflection is creepy.
Yeah, these are all really great
Like
masks.
it Darth Maul a little bit.
Wasn't this before the?
Well,
I think
yeah, it is. It is before. I'm just saying, like the design, like the red and black skin. Anyways,
I'm just saying that one point chin in the reflection was creepy too. So many creepy masks, and she has to go with one that he says not to touch.
they were made in a laboratory. Now, which one of these is supposed to be the one from Haunted Mask 2? Because I actually don't think that one is in this lineup.
You know, it's not.
Because it's got like a bunch of like old man hair and
in Haunted Mask 2, he finds in an old shed somewhere in the basement. So I don't think it's from this same shop.
Oh, okay. So it's not from this particular collection. All right.
No.
That's one of the things with the Haunted Mask is like I always wanted to see like episodes with all these masks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be here.
Dude, just chill off.
I know, right?
Yeah, but she's really not listening to him. I mean, he obviously not supposed to be back there. And she kind of not really supposed to be back there, you know.
Yeah. I would say the ominous looking lab equipment would kind of be a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah, and like maybe he just like take her out of there instead of explaining them to her. Yeah, and backing her into a corner as well. Like just tell her to get out. Don't explain anything. Just say these masks aren't for sale. Get out.
Right.
I mean, the way he does it only entices her to do it more. Which could, for all we know, could probably be intentional.
That's the thing with this guy. He's very ambiguous with his motivation.
Oh my gosh, this guy's a pervert. Sure. Tell this guy with the weird face my full name. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? You could probably be doing it intentionally for all we know.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he probably wouldn't try to Maybe he's doing it, maybe he's not. I don't know.
There we go. Just tell her to get out.
Seriously.
Just throws the money at him. No! And yet, what happens when she tries to turn around?
He closes the door.
Because that makes sense, right?
Yeah, you don't want her to take it, but then you close the door when she
right.
considers returning it. You close the door. It's like well, that will teach her a lesson.
I think the problem with that guy is he's turning into one of the masks himself.
That could be. That's a good theory with like all the pimples on his face and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what he even said in this episode.
And he did mention something along those lines.
I love the teeth. The teeth are what really make this mask.
Oh yeah.
Looks kind of different in the mirror for some reason. I don't know. It might be just me though.
Oh wow, great costume, kid. Makes me want to punch you in the face.
He does kind of get what he deserves here, though.
Yeah, a little bit. I love the gradual progression we get with Carly Breath. Kind of like at first she's just playing it as a joke, but then as the night goes on, you can kind of see the sociopathic side of her personality kind of coming out. This is a great little piece of foreshadowing right here.
How she can't get it off.
I love the music build up here.
And there we go.
I don't think my grandparents ever had this mask in their store. If they did, it was probably like a really cheap version.
Well, it's probably a good thing then.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it would make a really good Halloween mask.
Yeah, they do make really good versions of this mask.
Uh-huh. I don't necessarily think the voice change is that scary.
No, it's not.
It's
He said
actually one of the more ridiculous things about this special.
Yeah. Besides, I don't know why that line had to exist. It's not about her voice; it's about the mask.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's supposed to be like a way to like show like the mask is taking her over and it's changing her voice and her personality, things
The
like
book
that.
explained that a lot better, actually. I remember the book had a really creepy like explanation for the mask changing her voice. Like she wasn't controlling the change of the voice; it was just doing it on its own.
You saw the mask actually shift in the mirror.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. Well, I think
I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot about her putting the damn face on the broomstick.
it would actually been a bit more effective if her voice stayed the same.
I mean, I get what they're going for. It's just like it just doesn't hold up. It's just one of those things that hasn't aged well.
Or maybe if they used a completely different, like dubbed her over or something like that. Made her voice actually sound legitimately creepy. Yeah, that was just like made her sound the same, make it like show the mask changing her through her actions instead of just her voice.
Right.
That's just me though.
But seriously, how messed up is this whole costume though? The getup with the face and the blood.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that she had the face. I thought that she just got the face at the end,
Yeah, they should have at least like mutated the voice somehow, like in the computer.
I mean, they're working on a budget. I can forgive it, but yeah, it's not great.
This series would lend itself well to animation though.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's Scott and Steve.
They don't even look like them at first.
I know. I don't get where she.
She just walks up to two random people walking together and make.
How does he fit a ghost sheet over that with those big shoulders?
It's like I kind of appreciate the psychology of this more than I do the actual execution of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Like the idea of the mask changing you is a very scary notion, and I feel like it executes it well enough. It's just,
I mean, the whole concept of losing yourself. I mean, that's a very scary concept. It's like not recognizing yourself, which this episode actually touches upon later. The aspect of not recognizing yourself is one of the scariest things somebody can experience.
Sure.
And I'm being serious. That's like one of the things I haven't personally experienced myself, but I've seen a lot of examples of that. It's like one of the scariest things somebody can experience is
like disfiguration.
Not disfiguration, but like looking in the mirror, not recognizing who you become, like psychologically or even physically.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
Like psychologically or not even physically, like that's you in the mirror.
Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob just broke up, it sounded like. Is he still on the Hangout?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, you just broke out for a second.
Oh, but did you hear what I was saying, though?
Yeah.
Like people not recognizing themselves either psychologically or physically. I mean, that's one of the scariest things you can experience.
Yeah, I hear you. So I love the notion of the skin, the mask actually feeling like skin.
It's another subtle foreshadowing.
Again, a lot of this is really well described in the book. The skin, definitely like, the sensation of like warm flesh and sweat and stuff is described in detail in the book.
I like how they made the mask kind of look like the cover to the book, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They did a great job adapting the look of it, yeah. Getting in the mood.
I'm in the mood.
The mask from the movie looks almost identical to this mask here. So that's
The
a
mask
nice.
in the movie's just kind of a cameo, right?
Well, yeah, but it looks like this mask in the show. So that was a nice callback because they didn't use anything else from the show. Like nothing.
Still need to see the movie.
I really like this scene where she's kind of scaring the kid. It shows kind of the gradual breakdown of her character a little bit.
Like, what are you supposed to
Seriously,
be?
what's up with all the lame costumes besides Carly Beth's? Let's talk about that for a second.
Like the showing points it out.
costume.
It's kind of like the showing points out. What are you supposed to be? A mouse? A rat? A cat? Okay, this is kind of like the first instance of her taking things a bit too far.
Yeah, definitely. I like how she grabs the candy. She grabs the candy, but then she just instantly throws it.
It's like it seems like she's gonna do something really bad to the lady, then she just grabs a piece of candy.
Seriously, watching this does bring me back. Like, I wish I was like young enough to go trick or treating again, man. That shit, those were the days. Just the surprise of it and all that.
Yeah.
Because it's like now as an adult, I can just go and buy sacks of candy on my own. It's just not fun.
You can go to costume parties.
It must be really fun for little people like midgets.
Oh,
they can do it all they want.
well, I don't know about that.
You apologize to any viewers out there for having to be midgets. Wherever the crowd is.
Meanwhile, on the set of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Pirates. Well then, why are they hanging out in a cemetery anyway?
Because it's Halloween and it's fun. I don't know. I like the fake bird that one kid has on his shoulder.
And nothing says fun around like hanging in a foggy place full of dead people.
It sounds like my idea of a good time.
My gosh.
We'd be the life of the party.
I'm sorry. Some of this stuff is a little over the top. She's just like going around throwing decorations and pumpkins all over the place.
Yeah. And scaring little kids running away.
This is great!
Yeah, we're not scaring little kids because two people made fun of me.
All right, cut down the role playing there, Carly Beth.
Okay.
Again, I really just can't get enough of the atmosphere, though. You know, in spite of all the corny acting, the atmosphere is just really on point.
Oh, Jacob, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Carly Beth.
I know.
Okay.
Mints. I hate mints. It looks like they have all their candy like scattered out on a tombstone or something.
Yeah.
I was always confused about that.
Yeah.
There must be a pretty wide tombstone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's probably better places to sort candy.
I know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
They scare each other.
And here we go.
So, but the thing is she role playing, or is it like her mask is actually taking control of her now?
Oh, I think at this point the mask is definitely taking control. Yeah, like we said, I think the incident on the porch with a little kid is probably the turning point for the mask taking control.
Yeah, I do like the POV shots.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, it wasn't that funny, dude.
Oh, I know.
Like, I scared you with the cheap mask. Ah, I'm so funny.
You can see her in the background. I love that.
Oh God.
I agree with you. I do like the atmosphere of this better than some of the characters.
Okay, I will admit the scene is pretty psychologically fucked up right here.
Yeah.
Apologize to her. You killed her.
That's pretty messed up. They don't even realize it's her, though, do they?
They do now, yeah. Not at first. Oh God.
The statue. My gosh.
No, Jake, Sandy, I'm on this kid's side. If I saw this, I'd be freaked out too.
And
You coming back, you're sorry.
And the reason they do it is because they like her.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Well, it's probably true. They just don't convey it very well.
I guess so, yeah. I think they probably get into that a little bit more. And if I remember correctly, they're actually like friends with her in the Haunted Mask too.
I think so.
Nah.
Okay, like I said, in spite of the bad acting,
Oh.
yeah, it's still pretty damn scary. It's still a pretty effective scene, I think.
Just where did the bird move? I saw the bird move.
Just the random wolf howls, I think, a little over the top.
Yeah, that kind of makes it.
It actually kind of spoils the mood a little bit, to tell you the truth.
It had we had a very good psychological scene where she just traumatized two kids.
Right.
Let's follow with some over the wolf howling. Like I said, the atmosphere is good for the most part in this.
Oh yeah. I think the atmosphere is pretty top notch for like a pilot to a kids show. Yeah.
Especially a kids horror show.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like the dead eyes on that thing, man. That bust. It's so ironic that it's meant to represent like the good side of Carly Beth, and yet I would wager to say it's creepier than the actual mask. But maybe that's just because the actual mask, like Carly Beth, just acts. I mean, look at this. How can you take this seriously at this point? Just the over-the-top acting.
Well, the thing is, at least she had fun playing it, though, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, wait. I love the cartwheel she does right there. I love it.
At this point, it's going to take her seriously, though. I mean, it does redeem itself later, though. I'll admit that.
It does. I think once she wants to get the mask off, that's when it really becomes scary again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was scary when she started like harassing the kid and then like running around. Then during after that psychological scene and what whole burying, it got kind of ridiculous. I think it has a good cycle going on. Like it cycles between being ridiculous and then it cycles around to being scary again.
Which honestly is pretty true to Goosebumps, like just Goosebumps in general. It's a mix of just really over-the-top cartoony stuff with some genuinely horrifying, creepy dramatic implications.
Props are all Stine.
Hell yeah.
So I haven't even read this series, but I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird now. She's like talking in her normal voice. Like it's like a bit. I wonder. Was she speaking like that the entire time, or was the mask making her talk like that the entire time?
Well, like I said, in the book, it's definitely implied that the mask changes the voice for her, and she's not intentionally changing her voice, and she doesn't even notice that she's changing her voice at the time. The book definitely, of course, the book describes the whole voice change a lot better, of course, but.
It's just like it's like a throwaway line in this episode, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's boiling in this.
And okay, here we go. Here we go.
This is when it starts to become creepy again.
It does, yeah. I would wager to say this is definitely like the scariest part of the episode is when she can't get the mask off.
There's the GIF. There's the GIF.
Yep. Oh man.
Sandy, say something.
Man, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, this is definitely like this is when it actually starts becoming scary. I really was not at all intimidated when she was acting like the mask.
Like I said, I think the psychological implications of the mask are more scary than the actual delivery of it during those segments.
Like the more it's like it becomes scary the more you think about it.
Right.
Like I said, losing yourself is entirely the scary concept.
Oh yeah. Just the whole like there's no line to the mask. It's like become like her whole body. Oh man. Oh jeez. Okay, guys, here it is. The scariest moment in the whole special, I think, is right here. This first person POV.
Where she doesn't see the line.
And then the eyes.
Those aren't my eyes. That is some good acting there.
Oh. No, that right there, I think, is the scariest moment in the special. Those aren't my eyes.
Like I said, that is some good acting there.
A rare moment of good acting.
Like I said, we can give her all the credit she wants, but like, she does play fear pretty well in that aspect.
Sure, definitely.
And that's the part I was talking about. She doesn't recognize herself. She doesn't even recognize herself anymore. And that's the scariest part of the mask. She doesn't recognize herself.
I'm supposed to be me, but I'm not.
That's even scarier.
Like I said, the whole concept of losing yourself.
Yep. We have some really good commercial cuts in this episode.
Yep.
What do you mean? Just like...
like the fades to black where there were obviously meant to be a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
They cut them at like some pretty good cliffhangery parts.
Oh, yeah. Goosebumps is good for that. They're known for that.
Definitely.
Obviously, they lose their effect when there are no commercial breaks. Well, not really. I guess not, though. I don't know. Rambling. Now he lets her back in.
Like I said, the motives of this guy are definitely not very clear.
Make up your mind, man. It's like, do you want her to wear it or not?
The mask in the background that's like half made.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Maybe that's the mask he's going to put on next. Blubbery. You looking at me?
I love that one with the stretched out lips.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? I'm beautiful on the inside.
Oh dear.
Sorry, I'm just doing voices for the masks. Although based on the way that I played it, I doubt they're beautiful on the inside either.
Yeah, I think it's just a creepy notion that they were once, they were once like really good-looking faces, and that they just decayed, like real skin would decay.
Yeah, it's really.
This one's story was like, I want to know the story behind this one.
Well, that's the thing. I think each one of those masks could make like a good side book.
So what's the story? What is the story? Like, what happened to this mask to make it decay? I guess it's part of the ambiguity of the story.
Oh yeah.
Or I'm just not understanding it well enough.
I want to say it's explained a little bit better in the book, but even in the book, this guy's motivations aren't really that clear. He's just kind of a, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the shopkeeper from Gremlins.
Yeah, he's almost like a deal with the devil kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's kind of like not necessarily kind of like I'm not trying to say like he's a trickster devil kind of guy. Except he's not outright malicious in a way.
No, but he's very confused about if he wants to be malicious or not.
Yeah. Like he deep inside he's just a really sad guy.
I just want to make handsome masks for beautiful people.
Yeah, but then he makes these things. Why does he just find somebody to dispose of them or something? Or it's not possible to get rid of them.
Yeah, you're right, Sandy. This, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it. I think what it is it's supposed to be like all of the masks are his old faces. And so, like, his faces turn grotesque, and then he peels off his faces and puts them on the, and collects them. I don't know. That's the best sense I can make out of it.
Peels off his face. Oh my God.
So literally, like, all the masks are like his own like faces, and that's why it feels like skin and everything.
Oh, okay. This is terrifying.
I mean, it's really outdated, but yeah, Sandy, at the time, I'm with you. It terrified me too.
It still terrifies me. It looks so cheap and outdated, but that's what makes it terrifying.
I could do this effect in Adobe Premiere Pro in like 10 seconds.
But the thing is, though, like, this mask might be his face, but that doesn't explain why they're doing that.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Okay, they're alive when she wears them, but they also can move around on their own.
Right.
Like you'll awake them.
that I will admit that's never made much sense for me. This whole ending has never really made that much sense.
It's like unnecessary conflict.
It is a cool image, though. It is a cool kind of like visual, even though it's completely outdated and ridiculous looking now. It's still like, at least visually, like the idea of it is very cool.
Oh crap, guys! Dang it!
What?
An ad just popped up on YouTube.
Oh, really?
What timestamp are you guys at?
Well, I mean, it should be fine since I'm at 33:09, but I mean, it's got 4 minutes left, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much.
I mean, 39?
39:15.
This is just terrifying. His head's floating through the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the symbol of love.
Which is ironically the one thing in the special that's even more terrifying than the masks.
The masks are just like taunting her. They're not like trying to attack her or anything.
I know, right? They don't really do much besides just float around in a circle.
They just disappear. Like, cut off their mask. Masks.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I'm not trying to pick on that. I'm not trying to be picky on this episode.
No, it's all good. There is a lot of stuff to pick on with this.
And the whole power and the whole content of love thing really doesn't like explain like how it works. Like,
it's a very cheap Deus Ex Machina. Yeah.
I said I like the whole concept of it. Like the Tower of Loved Ones can help you find yourself.
I mean, what are the odds that Carly Beth would have something that was made by her mother that looks just like her that she can show to the mass that could be like, look, this is me. It's just very convenient.
Like I said, it's just like the power of loved ones can like help you find yourself if you're lost. Like, that's a good allegory for it, but just the way it's presented here is just like could be even for the 90s could be done a bit better.
Sure.
Like I said, I do like the episode. Don't get me wrong, I like the episode. It's a good episode. Makes me want to watch.
I think this thing has a good combination of stuff that holds up and stuff that's like cheesy in a fun way that doesn't hold up.
Yeah, makes me want to. It makes me want to watch the rest of the series, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit this
for you right now, Jacob. The rest of the series, a lot of the episodes aren't as good as this one.
This part did kind of get me for a little bit.
The little kid taking on the mask, or
no, not that. Like when he fooled her about the mask, like she took it off, but it was still on her, or something like that. That kind of that was a good trick.
Right.
So that actually did give me a little bit. It's like, oh no, it's like, is that a twist? Is that the twist?
That would be a damn good twist. Oh, that would be a good twist.
But she took it off and was still on her.
Aw.
That was a good death. But I have to admit, the twist they do pull in this episode is a pretty good one.
It's not so much of a twist, it's just kind of like a little stinger at the end, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
God.
yeah. And there it is. Here it comes.
Trick or treat. Oh God.
He's wearing the mask now.
It's even more scary on like a shorter body.
And it's the fact that he's a younger kid wearing it too.
Oh. Oh God. Oh,
I
R.L.
think they like
Stine
that.
and your psych eggs.
I think they liked it.
All right, guys, let's go around and do final thoughts. Let's start.
This mom and dad here. So dumb.
Final thoughts, anyone?
Well, it's a great episode. It holds up. It's definitely one of the best.
Yeah, like I said, Jacob, don't expect every episode to be this quality.
Yeah, and this episode wasn't even really that great a quality, just better than compared to the others. Yeah, I there's not really much I can say about it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's not one I would keep watching, over and over again, but I enjoyed it.
It was one that I kept watching over and over again as a kid, and I'm glad I revisited it. It holds up a lot better than I was expecting it to.
And I will say that it does hold up, and it does make me want to search for those diamonds in the rough.
I could tell you some good diamonds in the rough. Yeah. I mean, off the top of my head, like Horrorland is always a good one. That's a classic. Werewolf of Fever Swamp, I remember being pretty good. Tower of Terror, not the Tower of Terror, but One Night at Terror Tower. A lot of good ones, but I mean, I think this is the seminal Goosebumps, just because like it might not be the most popular character. Like, sadly, I think Slappy is the most popular Goosebumps character, and that's more of a marketing thing than anything else, and that makes me sad because Slappy is one of the less original of the Goosebumps villains. Like,
yeah, that is true.
Like, hey, remember Chucky? Well, what if Chucky was a dummy instead of a doll? But no, I mean, the Haunted Mask is definitely like, it holds up. It's so seminal. It's so, like, to me, it's just about as iconic of a Halloween product of the 90s as something like let's say Halloween Town was for the Disney Channel or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be something to review.
I'm honestly surprised we haven't reviewed Halloween Town yet. But yeah, love this episode. Like I said, I think it's a really, really good mix of stuff that does hold up, stuff that is genuinely creepy, and also the rest of it that doesn't hold up is at least like good and a fun kind of like cheesy 90s sort of way. So it's a fun combination of both. And I think in that regard, it's a good watch. It's a good thing to go back to. All right, guys. So I guess that's about it. Thanks. Thank you guys for joining us.
Trying to be negative on the show. We like doing it in a kind, loving way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So don't take anything we said take everything we said with a grain of salt, basically.
Of course. Of course. All right. Well, folks, our spirits grow weary, but don't worry. They'll be stronger the next time as we engage in more haunted holiday hijinks. Those aren't my eyes, Sabrina. Those aren't my eyes.